Tamara Holness, a daughter of former Broward County politician Dale Holness, is scheduled to be sentenced for fraud. Back in November, she pleaded guilty to lying on a coronavirus relief loan application to fraudulently get hundreds of thousands of dollars. Holness claimed through multiple documents that her consulting business employed 18 people, but she does not actually employ anyone. Holness could face up to 20 years in prison.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Being Beautifully Honest channel. If you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know whenever I do upload a new episode. Now, we have another person who has been convicted of PPP loan fraud, and this is running rampant. There are going to be a lot more people that are going to be revealed that you would really be surprised to find out that they're doing this. But the reason why I call this segment Stunting on Social is because the majority of the people who did this, they did it so that they could really showcase a lifestyle that they don't necessarily live. And it's crazy, but this is another situation where someone got caught up in the rapture of fraud, and is crazy also because she is the daughter of a former mayor. Now, this story comes from the Miami Herald via Yahoo News. So it says that Broward political consultant Tamara Holness will be going to prison for 1 year and 8 months after pleading guilty to stealing $300,000 from a federal program meant to help small businesses struggling through the COVID-19 pandemic. On Monday, U.S. District Judge Rodolfo Ruiz gave her a bit of a break on punishment after Holness's lawyer asked for lenience so she could take care of her toddler daughter. He also ordered her to pay back the money she ripped off from the government relief program, and she must surrender to prison authorities in 90 days. Holness is the 29-year-old daughter of Dale Holness, who narrowly lost the Democratic primary race to fill the late U.S. Rep. Alcee Hastings' vacant seat. This summer, Tamara Holness was charged with 1 count of conspiring to commit wire fraud in Fort Lauderdale federal court. As part of her guilty plea to that charge in November, she admitted lying about the financial needs of her plantation consulting business to qualify for a federal Paycheck Protection Program loan guaranteed by the Small Business Administration as part of Congress's massive pandemic relief package. Holness, who has been free on bond since her arrest last August, faced up to 20 years in prison for her fraud conviction. So she really got, in my opinion, she got off because she's only going to prison for 1 year and 8 months, and she may get out sooner than that based on good behavior, if that works in that system. I really don't know. And so the federal guidelines for her offense fell between 3 and 4 years in light of the amount of money she stole from the SBA program and that she accepted responsibility for her crime. Holness, represented by defense attorney Sue Ann Robinson, argued for a lower sentence in court papers, saying that she is a single mother responsible for raising a 15-month-old girl with health issues, which is very sad. Holness's lawyer argued that her client's case represents a exceptional family circumstance where any term of imprisonment would cause irreparable damage to Ms. Holness's 15-month-old daughter, Amara. Holness also said the daughter's father recently had another child from another relationship, and therefore his ability to take care of Amara while the mother is incarcerated would be limited. And to me, that just sounds like the dude and she are not together. So it's not that he can't take care of the child. He won't take care of the child because he's just doing his thing. This circumstance has placed Amara's residential situation in jeopardy, and any term of incarceration for Ms. Tamara Holness will leave Amara's care in jeopardy, as the father will have the added responsibility of Amara full-time and a newborn. Assistant U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Kaplan opposed any type of break from a federal guideline sentencing for Holness, saying such punishment is reasonable In court papers, Kaplan said, the defendant has never explained what she did with the money she received. And I would like to know that too. $300,000 and you had a baby? Like, what did you use the money on? He also pointed out that back in March of last year, months before her arrest, the FBI contacted Holness and set up a meeting with her to discuss the PPP loan. The defendant failed to show up at the meeting or at a second meeting arranged with the FBI. The FBI agents then set out to locate the defendant in order to serve the defendant with a federal grand jury subpoena for the records of Holness Consulting. The agents subsequently served the defendant at a shopping mall as she was getting out of a green Tesla she had been driving. Again, like I said, stunting on social. A green Tesla, not even the color, like a Tesla. What were you driving before that? All right. After the defendant was approached by the FBI, she then attempted to obstruct the investigation by contacting witnesses. After she was arrested in August, Holness's father distanced himself from his daughter's troubles with the law, which erupted during his campaign for Congress. So she screwed over her father. He was trying to get into the Senate, and then this pops up. Dale Holness, who served as Broward's mayor in 2020 and ran against 10 others in the Democratic special primary in November 2021, said in a text message after her arrest that he and his daughter have been estranged for many years. He says, "If she has done wrong, I hope she learns from this and uses it as a lesson as to how to better conduct herself in life," he wrote at the time. But in January, ahead of her sentencing, Monday, Holness's father wrote a letter to the judge asking him to be lenient in punishing his daughter. Tamara is a loving and caring mother to her 15-month-old daughter, Amara Juliana. Dale Holness said in a letter, one of several written to the judge in support of the defendant, "I hope that she will be given every act of leniency possible in her sentencing so that she may be able to continue to provide the support for her daughter to become a successful and productive citizen." Florida public records show Tamara Holness ran her political consulting business in the same office as her father's real estate business, All Broward Realty at 4325 West Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. Asked about the same address for both businesses, Dale Holness told the Herald she never conducted any business in my office, nor did she have keys to my office. So was she lying about that, or was he lying so that he could distance himself from his daughter because of his political aspirations? Honestly, I think he's lying because, yeah, politicians we know are known for not being honest, and she had a political consulting business. Who got her into that? What would make her aspire to have a political consulting business, and her father is a politician? So I don't believe him. I don't think that he's telling the truth with that. Not saying that they had like a really tight-knit, real close relationship. That's possible, but I don't believe that he was telling the truth. Tamara Holness was among thousands of small business owners in Florida and nationwide who turned to the federal government for a helping hand during the pandemic, but authorities say she cheated the system by lying about her company's financial profile and payroll. The COVID-19 relief program, approved by Congress when the coronavirus pandemic swept the nation, was designed to help struggling businesses apply for loans that are guaranteed by the Small Business Administration and ultimately forgiven. Since its inception under the CARES Act, the $650 billion program has been credited with helping small businesses pay employee wages and cover other overhead costs, but it has also generated dozens of cases of fraud in South Florida, one of the hot spots in the country. In 2020, when Tamara Holness was serving as president of the Broward County Democratic Black Caucus, here we go. She was the president of the Broward County Democratic Black Caucus, but her father claims that she and he had been estranged for years. I don't believe that. She applied for a $300,000 loan for her company, Holness Consulting, Inc., according to a criminal information filed in Fort Lauderdale federal court. To justify her company's request, Holness claimed in the loan application that her company employed 18 people and spent an average $120,000 a month on payroll. the information says. In fact, she had 0 employees and no payroll expenses. She was accused of using fraudulent payroll tax forms to support her loan request. A bank in Georgia, which reviewed her company's application, approved the loan and wired the $300,000 to the political consultant's account in South Florida. Once the money hit the bank account in July 2020, Holness spent the next few months creating a paper trail to make it appear as if Holness Consulting had employees and was spending PPP money on legitimate approved expenses, according to the criminal information. Holness then issued checks from her company's bank account made out to other people who agreed to endorse and return them to the political consultant. The information says she cashed the checks, paid a few $100s to each of the check endorsers, and then kept the rest of the cash for herself, about $1,000 per check. FBI agents uncovered during their investigation. Like, this is really deep. Like, this, I believe that there are other people that need to go down along with her, because I don't even believe that she was in on this alone. I'm not saying her dad was in on it with her, but the people who were in on cashing the checks, or not even cashing the checks, endorsing the checks, but giving them back to her. And I'm sure they got a little fee for what they did, as well as the people who helped her out with the paperwork, because I don't believe that she did all of that on her own either. Fraudulent activity became commonplace during the pandemic after Congress passed the legislation in 2020 allowing small businesses and unemployed workers to apply for financial benefits under the CARES Act. So they're saying that South Florida was the nation's #1 fraud capital. And it's like just a long list of people. We're going to talk about more of these cases, but I believe that there are other people that was involved with what she did. And there are so many people besides the people who received the bulk of the money like she did that need to go down. Because being someone myself who is a small business owner who did not benefit from the PPP loan assistance in the year of 2021, I did get a small amount in 2020, but I have a legitimate business that I've operated for well over a decade, and I have had employees for now over almost 10 years. I have a paper trail. People like this, like, it should have never even been allowed. They should have never even gotten the money. They would still get busted for fraud, because even if you don't get the money, but you were attempting to commit fraud, that's still punishable by law as well. But there are a lot of companies that prop themselves up to help people to get this money and say, well, we can help you get this money. We'll do the docs and all of this and all of that. So those people, they need to get busted too, because they made a business out of getting people fraudulent money. And there are so many businesses that I am aware of, that I have seen, that have suffered during the pandemic, and they had to close their doors. And it's not fair, because they had legitimate businesses, and then you have people like this. Yeah, she may have had a legitimate business, but she didn't have what she claimed. And so she got over $300,000. That money could have been divvied up to help a lot of other businesses, because I'll be honest, I don't even know anybody that got that amount of money. And they literally had employees and all of the different things that were required to obtain a business loan, the PPP loan. But because of these people getting these huge, massive amounts, these people just were asked out. And when their applications were processed, like mine, they just said, oh, well, we're sorry, we can't help you. All of the money has run out. And that was it. So I'm here for it. I don't celebrate anyone's downfall, but when it comes to situations like this, because the majority of the businesses in the US are small businesses, a lot of them really did suffer. And so to see people out here getting this money and buying Lamborghinis and Teslas and vacation homes and Rolls Royces and all of the Rolex watches, all of the other things that some people have paid for and wasted their funds on that they did receive, they deserve to get the punishment that they're getting. And no, I don't believe that they deserve to get a slap on the wrist, because if people lost their businesses and they were supporting their families, like it's just a lot. It's just a lot that they caused a lot of people to be harmed because they only had a certain amount to divvy out, and you had these people that were first in line. The fraudsters were first in line, and so they got the bulk of the funds, and then the people on the lower end of the spectrum who had legitimate businesses, they didn't get the help that they deserved and they needed. So I'm not celebrating it, but I'm here for it. So, you know, someone with a beautiful face but not much integrity is gonna chill out in prison for a little while. And was it really worth it? Was it really worth it? And I wonder, did they tow that Tesla away and you know, because she's gonna have to pay the money back. What are they gonna do with all of the things that she purchased with the money? Well, we'll see. You guys let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section.